Hey, everybody. Sorry we're a little late today, but we're still having technical difficulties. I can tell you that. But we might have a workaround with this. I've asked Fred to find some white paper and a big wide Sharpie, and we can ask him questions and he can write them down. But we'll see. We might get lucky. And we've rebooted a couple times. We've experimented with some different settings, but for whatever reason, his mic just isn't working, and we can't use the cell phone. We were talking on the cell phone in trying to work through all that. But the problem is that that will feed back through my microphone and back to the cell phone, and you'll just have a massive echo and all that fun, awful stuff. So we can't have that. But yeah, but I appreciate everybody tuning in so far. We got 34 people watching. I know as this thing goes along, we'll get a few more people in, and we will do the sale one way or another. But I'm gonna bring Fred in. We're gonna see if a miracle has happened and his audio is working. Let's see. Say Nope, sorry, Fred, it's not. The same thing. But look, we're both, at the very, we kind of have our own Hawaii, the similar Hawaiian shirts on. Yours is far more colorful than mine. I'm a little jealous. I don't have one that nice. But yes, it would be funny if he called in. Yeah, we tried a couple different avenues there, Chaos Angel, but unfortunately, yeah, we we've done everything we can do. Yep. But I don't think Fred, have you ever done like, in any of the strips that you did, whether it was for the buyer's guide or anything for, Marvel Age, did you ever do any kind of mime work? Did you ever draw a mime? I mean, that's a mm, oh no, I'm not good at charades. I have to tell you this, Fred. I might have to bring somebody in who's good at charades. My family will tell you that I fail at charades and Pictionary are not my games. Yes, you've drawn. Okay, I had this weird feeling that I've seen some mimes. I mean, when I saw Frenchie in the one strip that you sent, I thought you had to have drawn a mime once or twice in your time. Oh, that's a good. See, Casper said I could have Jeff Wedding call Fred and have Jeff answer. There's many ways we could get this thing done. Is Jeff in the chat? I wasn't looking at the chat earlier. But does Jeff even have Fred's phone number? Probably not. I could share it with him though. Yes, I could. But is Jeff here? Is there a mute button? He's definitely not muted. His mic is just straight up not working right now. Jeff could be Fred's voice. Well, hey, I'm game. I'm game. But I don't see, where's Jeff? Where is Jeff Wedding? That's what we need. If Mr. Wedding is in the chat, let us know. Otherwise, I don't want to I can't just give anybody Fred's phone number. So but yeah, so we're kind of, oh, I am, and I do not have it. Okay, well, Jeff is here. Okay, Jeff, I can share Fred's contact info with you, and we'll make this could work. Let's see here. Sharing this. Yep, yep, yep. Da, 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 da. Yep. Give me a second. Now I have to use my phone properly to make this share here to get that. All right. Give me a second, Jeff, and I will text this over to you. But yeah, we tried, we failed, but we've got a lot of great artwork to look at today. We've got published pieces. We've got we have a couple covers. We've got some commission style pieces that were done just for the show. We've got we've got a buyer's guide page. We've got 2 Marvel's Age DPSs. We've got, yeah, lots of good stuff. Things that people have not seen before. All right, there's Jeff's contact info. We're gonna make this work. Sorry, everybody. I'm not good at multitasking, but I'm trying. I am trying. Here we go. Send along. All right, I've sent Fred's contact info over to Jeff. Now I've got to also send Jeff the link to the studio so he can do all of the communicating for us that way as well. But yeah, it's just another Saturday here in the US. Things not working the way they should. We've had internet problems here in Central Florida the last couple days. I've been offline at least 6 hours. Luckily, not when I'm streaming. So and this is a first for us, but we will get through it. Hi, everyone. See, it's just like watching one of those. Wait, here we go. Get this share over to you. Give me 1 second, Jeff. I'll send this to you in an email. Got that, and emailing Mr. Wedding right now. Link. All right, Jeff, you should have Fred's cell phone number or house phone number and his and you have their link to the studio. So as soon as Jeff is in here, we will make this work. All right, but beyond all that, yeah, we've got actually, you actually sent me more artwork than we needed, so I've set stuff aside. So the Ant-Man cover, we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait till the next show. And there was a few other pieces that I set aside, but everything in here is awesome. You even sent that X-Men piece. We have some X-Men fans out there, and you had that Millennial Visions artwork that I know is going to interest a few of those collectors. I'm just waiting for Jeff to pop in here. But yeah, this is the X-Men piece. For those of you who didn't get the email or haven't watched the CAF update, look at that. This is on 14 by 17 published X-Men art. Look at that. Cyclops front and center. Storm, the second best leader of the X-Men, of course, behind Scott. Jean at his side. Wolverine, of course, never happy. I love it. And then you got this nice buyer's guide piece with a giant man, right? A Dateline piece. Are we starting the bids now? No, we're not starting the bids now. Everything will be at auction once we get to that point. But what else I got here? I've got you got this Nova DPS that was from a Marvel Age. It's huge. Right here. Look at that. 22 by 17. Yeah. Poor Fred. Yeah, it is right, Margaret. It is. It's criminal. Let's just put it that way. It is criminal. It's not me. I'm using Windows 11, Marcus. Actually, I'm okay. And then this is a DPS too. It's on 11 by 17, but it's it was the what was it? I can't even remember the name of it. The history of Hank Pym, a pictorial history of Hank Pym. All eras of him up until whenever this was published, which I think was late 80s. Yeah. All right. I don't know where Jeff Wedding is. I know I got him the contact info, and I got him the is he on the phone? Phone's ringing. Hey, the hotline is all right. We're gonna make this work. So what else we got here? So Fred can join you in the chat. Well, he could. He definitely could. But it's going to be more fun having Jeff Wedding join us here, and then we'll have all three of us on camera. It'll be an interesting method for the interview side of things. But nice to see you again, Margaret. It's been a while. I know you've been busy. You mentioned that the last time we got to see you in the chat. Yeah, that's true. Jeff, like Josh, was trying to hang out with some chocolate covered strawberries in the tub, trying to get himself ready for the show. Yeah, that's that is one guy who's going to be disappointed today. But there's always later, Jeff. Yeah, Margaret, we missed you when we did the Jeff Moy show a few weeks back. How many people does it take to sell comic card? That's a good question, Goof. It's going to take three of us today. As soon as Jeff gets into here, and it was funny, like when I do my research, I didn't realize this was a published cover. Your Mars Attacks piece, but it was an IDW Mars Attacks the holidays cover. It was a Christmas special. There should have been you didn't draw a candy cane or something on it though. All right. Come on, Jeff. I know Jeff got the link, but he's probably incoming. You're right. He's out of the tub. He's on his way over. I'm not putting the mask on to entertain anybody, Marcus. But yes, we do have 16 pieces of art in the sale today, and all of it at auction. And then we're going to do our usual auctioning off of two sketch cards, single character sketch cards. So our first lot and our last lot will be sketch cards of your choice. And uh, actually, Fred has never seen this. I mean, well, I sent him small posters from this, but for those of you who went to OAX, you also know that Fred did the art for the OAX poster. I did not win it. I wish I would have won it. I regret that. But I do have a 2 foot by 3 foot poster from OAX. This was the auction artwork poster that Fred did that was colored by Gigzilla. Here, let me go full screen. I made sure I had it in the background today. A little bit of light on there, but look at that. Over 500 signatures on there from everybody who attended or exhibited at OAX in January. But it was awesome that we had Fred do this for us, and he had time to do it. He said, I remember I said, give me a riff on the FF roast. And this is what he came up with. So I wish, oh, wait, Jeff is hey, I see him. Jeff.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, we can hear you, Jeff. All right.
I can hear everybody, and it's very strange. Am I super echoey on your end, Bill?
No. I mean, no, there's no echo at all because
Okay.
the way you got it set up, it's actually going to be fine. Yeah, because if you put them on speakerphone, we'd be in trouble. So
right, which is what I was trying to avoid. So
yes. Well, thank you. Thank you for getting out of the tub, Jeff.
Yeah, it might help there, Fred. It might help if you pop off speaker as well.
There you go. But we're going to make this work.
Yes, I am still on the phone with you.
So just so everybody knows, I did send a stack of these to Fred. So he's
bet.
A few of his own that he could sign and give away if he if he ever goes to a show or something. Thank you, Fred. I wanted to thank you personally. Now I'm able to show it off and let everybody appreciate it as well.
He says it was quite the task, but he enjoyed doing it.
Well, he had about 8 to 10 iterations of it. There was a pizza drawn on here at one point versus the corner box. And the person who won the artwork at OAX got to see all of the different variations that it went through. At one point, Fred was peeking out from the curtain over here, and then he was over here, and some variations on the characters down below. But that was nice. So the person who won the artwork basically got at least 8 different versions of it as well.
Yeah, Fred says that there are variations of layouts and stuff, but not full finished pieces.
No, they're all pencil. But it was like you did it all on 8.5 by 11. But I think there was like 6 pages of different options, and you even wrote why you made certain choices, and like you've done for me in the past, where you kind of outline stuff. I thought that was fun.
He says thank you, and I have to repeat what you say, Fred, because he can't hear me, or he can't hear you. Yeah.
Ah, okay. So yeah, this is even more challenging.
You can be as pithy as you want, Fred.
I am disappointed in you, Jeff. You are not wearing a Hawaiian shirt. I thought the extra minute or two that you had to get on the phone that you were trying to find the. Ah, okay.
I do have a comic art fan shirt on.
You're at least, you're show centric today. We appreciate that. Can Fred be put on speakerphone? I don't think, no, that won't work because Fred can hear me and then that'll feed back through everything. And yeah, we actually tried that initially and it won't work because it'll just be this nasty loop of an echo. So that was one of the tests, but so this is going to be a challenge, but Fred, I know we can get this done because we have Jeff in our corner today to go over the artwork and whatnot that you brought with us. But it has been. I mean, the last time you were on, it was in early fall. So, what kind of stuff can you tell us? Anything that you've been working on in between? We always know that you've got the sketch cards on eBay going on, but anything on the side that you've had going on outside of the sketch cards and the eBay auctions?
The Dateline strip and the Comic Creator magazine.
Oh, sweet. It's always that's fantastic to have new artwork being produced by you. And this is the 2025 we all deserve. Uh, no, I'm not. But at any rate, no, well, that's good. That's good. So, we've, if I'm sure you know that, well, you know what? I should let everybody know one thing that we had just announced it on Thursday. Fred Hembeck is taking part in the mystery sketch. Thank you for that, Fred. We appreciate that. He's doing two. He's only going to do two. So the lucky two folks will get Fred doing sketch cards for you. And you can get them. You can buy pre-done ones on eBay, of course. But these will be ones where you get to it's in a mystery sketch. You pick the character, and if you're the lucky person to have Fred get your drawing, you're going to get a custom Fred Hembeck sketch card.
There's nothing sweeter.
There is nothing sweeter. Exactly. You should know, Jeff. You have binders and binders of Fred Hembeck sketch cards.
It's still just one binder.
Is this okay? I figured you were on your second binder by now.
No, I think it's only about 250 cards right now.
Only 250.
Yeah, and Fred says, "Wow," but I've probably given away about 200 cards as well. So
you definitely have. You've done you've done some stuff for charity with them as well. And that's always good. A silent mystery sketch.
It's a little pocket piece of happiness.
It is. You've given me a couple of them. I think I've received 4 or 5 of them from you. But yeah, so that's this is but I just wanted everybody to know that Fred is one of the many artists taking part, and this is the first time for Fred. So hopefully we'll be able to have Fred on future mystery sketches as well. It's only twice a year, Fred. So always, they're perfect, because sketch cards is a new thing for us this time around. It's an experiment. We actually printed our own custom sketch cards, and I'm going to have yours in the mail to you on Monday. So, well, how do you? This is really it's really challenging for me. Yes. Number one Marvel fan regrets not keeping all the envelopes that he's received from you, Fred. I think everybody who's thrown one out is disappointed that they've ever done that. I save everything now. There's not one thing, because you usually put some kind of drawing on some of them. So I've got like 4 or 5 of the envelopes and things that have come my way. But this is the. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, it is. It can be something like that. Chaos Angel says they have at least 20 Fred Hembeck cards. It's not enough, Chaos Angel. Right? No,
it's never enough.
It's never enough. And Chaos Angel has been saving all the envelopes. Yeah, that's a wise thing to do. You see, whenever I get something from Fred, I usually, there's usually something like this, a manila envelope with some information in it. He always puts the comics in one of these, and so I usually get an extra drawing, and I save all of these, Fred. They're going to be passed down someday to another art collector sometime in the future. But or my kids, one or the other.
Oh, Fred says that he also saved envelopes when he was buying stuff that was obviously coming from Wally Wood.
Really?
Wits End.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you have any Steve Ditko letters that came back your way? You never wrote them?
He never wrote to Steve.
Ah. Well, I know you wrote his name down.
Fred says he was intimidated. But it's nothing as being intimidated as being the voice interpreter for Fred Hembeck on a live show. So
you're doing really well, Jeff. You don't appear intimidated whatsoever.
Well, I was trying to log in. I told Fred I'm trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up, and this will be a new form of court interpreter with people being able to appear before a judge on screen.
Mm-hmm. It's never enough. Yeah, there you go. That's a good idea, Chuck Arnold, that the subheading of next year's show is never enough. It's true. It is. That's one way to look at it. But I get you on the, I don't think I could have even written a letter to Steve Ditko either, Fred. I mean, because everything you always heard was that he was a grump. I mean, and even if he wrote you back, you probably wouldn't like to hear or read what he wrote you. So, by and large, why even take the chance? Mhm. And you
Yep,
live, you could have
that's
knocked
the
on his
reason for
door.
Fred too.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's yeah. Well, I think he grew up in southwestern PA. I think there's because they had a gallery show. I can't remember the city during the pandemic, whereas when they did it. Oh, look, you've got another guest to interpret for there, Jeff.
That's right.
Number one Marvel fan says it would be amazing to have Fred at OAX 26. Fred has a standing invitation whenever the stars align. Fred will be there. Fred and his wife will be guests at OAX. He knows that, and it just you know he just needs to say when he's ready and able, and he's going to be a guest. So we know that he'll be drawing lots of sketch cards that weekend when it does happen. So yeah, trust us, number one Marvel fan. We're very happy to have Fred there when the time is right. But let's see. Oh,
Or
CJ,
Fred can draw nothing, and we'll just wine and dining.
that too. I mean,
Yeah,
a lot of people have have already picked up a
we
lot of.
won't put the pressure on Fred before he shows up.
Well, the thing is, we should make Fred shows up a couple days in advance, and the collectors know that too, so that they can, one guy can be taking him out to breakfast, the next one to lunch, the next one to dinner. We can do that for a couple days, and then the show starts. That sounds like a good idea to me.
Well,
Oh, we've lost our interpreter. The dog
I'm
is.
still here, but I'm gonna go open the door. Hopefully, eliminate some barking.
What was
Because they
this?
were going to
But
jump
CJ
off.
Design apparently was not intimidated to send Steve Ditko a letter. He said that he sent me a nice return letter when he was 12 with a copy of Mr. A. Well, when you're 12, you don't have any, you don't know that, you don't know what you don't know. So if you had Steve Ditko's mailing
That
address,
does make
why
it
not
easy.
send him a letter? How about a commission of a page of Fred's character dancing? Oh, yeah. Anything's possible. Johnstown, Pennsylvania, Jewish Dragons. Thank you. That was where the Ditko gallery exhibit was in 2021, actually, when I went to that. But yeah, so there's that. So we are 23 minutes, I guess, into this. Although we started late, I would like to do the art sale just because we've got 18 things to kind of auction off. So we have over 60 people watching the show right now. So I hope everybody's ready, willing, and able to do this. We're going to be doing it as an auction, like we always do on Fred shows. And so let me give you the ground rules on stuff. I mean, I know I've got a couple slides here that I always show off that talks about who's got the art and all that fun things. But I have all the art. Yeah, you do. And claims will happen in the chat. We've got 18 lots to look at today, and each lot has a slide. The slide has the starting bid amount on it, and we just encourage you to not make small bid amounts. $25, $50 increments are always best. Don't try to snipe anything, because when you snipe during a stream, you always wind up in trouble, because we could be 10 seconds ahead of you, and when I say that the 10-second warning, by the time it hits 0 over here, it's still, you just heard me say it's 10 seconds over there, and we're done. So don't snipe. It's always best to just kind of put your max bid in early, and then follow your heart on those. There is a live button in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. So if you're on YouTube, hit that live button. That should bring you up to at least up to speed with the rest of the people in the chat. And if you don't, you can do that numerous times throughout the show too. That'll help you stay current. If you can pay by Zelle or Venmo or personal check, you have no fees associated with your sales. And if you have to go the route of using a credit card through PayPal, we need to charge 4% US, 5.5% if you're international. And as far as shipping goes, everything gets shipped from here after payment's been received. Within 48 hours, we can turn things around within a day or two. Domestic shipping is $30. International is $65. We ship everything in Masonite. Everybody who's bought art from me before knows that, and everything arrives safe and sound. So there you go. So I don't think
Although it's not as much of a game as when Fred sends cards out in a single envelope,
that
because we
that is.
all guess what cardboard box he used to cut up to provide the extra reinforcement.
Mm-hmm. What cereal was Fred eating last week?
Yep,
Right? Or what brand of saltines?
Cheerios.
Cheerios is a favorite. Yeah, it's good. It's part of the mystique of getting a package from Fred. But you don't get that from me. You get brown masonite. I put some yellow tape around it so you can't miss it, and away it goes. So not as creative as what Fred sends out. Nutrigrain is, I guess, is on some other number one Marvel fan. But so there you go. So that's what we got. So why don't we go ahead and start things off? Like everybody knows, the first lot and the last lot when we do these things are always the single character commission piece. And I will go ahead and highlight lot number one, single character sketch card, 2.5 by 3.5. As always, we start the bidding at $50. As everybody knows who follows Fred's auctions on eBay, they always end rather respectively. There's a group that Jeff and I are a part of that loves to talk about the what the who's good, who's licking something and who's paying attention to what auction that Fred has going, because Fred's usually got at least a dozen auctions going on at all times. But Margaret Lee, thank you. Highlight Margaret's $50 bid to get us started. We appreciate that. Paul
Well, there'd
Pat.
be what 35 cards, 5 cards a day, 7 days a week. Yep. Oh, and Fred says, of course, every once in a while he'll add in an extra one, but oh, here's the teaser. He's got 6 Guardians of the Galaxy cards that he's going to be putting up soon.
So you can get the whole team. Is that the plan?
1980s version.
Even better. Paul Pappas is our high bidder at the moment, $125. Thank you, Paul. Of course, thank you to Chris and Margaret for getting things started. We appreciate that here. And there will be one other you pick the single character sketch card that we'll offer right at the end as well. So if somebody doesn't get this one, you do have another opportunity at the end of the auction. So all right. Well, I'm going to say 10 seconds. We'll close this one out. Paul Pappas will have the first opportunity for the sketch card. And Fred's really good about these. He ships them out himself, as we've already been hearing. He's used to shipping out lots of sketch cards. So I can only imagine. Paul's a big Spidey collector, but would he pick up a Spidey one? I don't know. But we'll close this one right now. Paul Pappas, 125. Thank you, Paul. We need a bell or something, Jeff, or a hammer.
I should have a bell or something.
Yeah.
And to answer a human spider's question, it's for one character on a custom card.
Yes, that was, yeah, there you go. Saw that human spider. Sorry. Yeah, one character, single character on a 2.5 by 3.5 inch sketch card. So there you go. But thank you, Paul Pappas, for getting it started.
And I think I've lost Fred.
You lost him.
There he is.
Oh, the audio's working. Okay, good.
Oh, that's okay.
We can't lose Fred here. We've already lost his voice. We cannot lose. You're right. We need claim bell, Tariq. That's so true. If I had an extra person in the studio, we could be ringing a claim bell, I think. But all right, well, we'll go ahead and take a look at lot number 2. So this is we have a few DC pieces and a few Marvel pieces out there. This is a Green Arrow, Black Canary, Green Lantern color piece done specifically for the show today, as are a few other pieces. This one's on 9 by 12. Start opening bid on this is $200. And yeah, you get wait until Fred's phone dies. That's
Don't jinx it.
Yeah, no. It's got power. It's got power. We won't delay things here. An hour on that phone should be enough. But Marcus, thank you for starting us off over the opening amount at $250. I need a cowbell in the studio. I really do. The gavel that we used at OAX. It's actually not in my office. I really got to bring it in here so I can use that. Oh, Kevin Sharp. Thank you, Kevin.
Hammer it down.
Exactly. Yeah, I do not have. I don't have a bell or anything I can ring in here. But thank you, Kevin, and of course Marcus for getting us started. 275 is the high bid on this one, and again on 9x12, you don't get these anymore from Fred. Fred, in the early days of eBay, I know you used to do cover recreations and a few other things with your auctions, but you pretty much stick to the standard size sketch cards now. So these are the opportunity to get these don't happen too often, and we appreciate the fact that you do these specifically for the show.
Oh, he says he's enjoyed doing these so much recently for this show that he may start doing a couple more to sneak in over on eBay.
Oh, that's great. Fantastic. Thank you, Jim Martin, for the $300 bid. But yeah, that's because there's a lot of your work out there, Fred. I think the last time we looked, I checked on CAF, over 2,000 artworks of yours exist on CAF. Puts you in like the top 25 artists historically that have artwork on Comic Art Fans, which isn't an easy feat. So you've got a lot of your pieces out there, which is fantastic.
Fred says, but 9 cards equals 1 sheet for one of these kind of drawings. So,
all right, if we have to do it like that, then maybe it's not as impressive. But I'm not going to think.
I haven't put any of my cards up yet in my gallery, so we could flood the CAF updates here for a while if I get around to it.
Interesting. Well, I'm gonna say we're gonna call this one in 10 seconds if I don't get another bid. Jim Martin is in the lead with this one at $300, and if we don't get another bid, Jim, a Florida resident, I believe, we'll be getting this one. Yes, I got to get a bell or something. I'm not gonna say ding 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 ding, but I will now. There, I just did it. It's over. So this one's going to Jim Martin. Thank you, Jim. $300. That is a good one. Now, let me see. Where are that red button? Yeah. Next up is a Marvel piece. Actually, you get the whole Inhumans team on this one. 9x12. Opening bid on this is 250. When I see Lockjaw, I do literally think Jason D'Ambrosio when I see this. There's a likeness there that's kind of uncanny, but yeah, this is a good one. And Medusa's doing her thing. I mean, we can't have Black Bolt talking. So I love this one. Let's see here. Matt DiTullio has got a $350 bid in, and Marcus put a $300 bid in as well, and Matt's got a $350. So we're there. We're up to $350. Yeah, well, we know Matt's a big Black Bolt fan. So no surprise there.
Yeah, not a surprise to see Matt involved in the bidding on this one.
No, not at all. And we have a few other team pieces that'll be coming up as well. But do we have another Marvel one like this? Well, we have some. Yeah, we do. We have some other pieces like that. But yeah, this was a fun one. You've done a few Avengers of these in the past, Fred, and also I believe an X-Men one once. But yeah, these are great. And again, can't get these on eBay, at least for right now. We'll find out later if Fred ever offers them again, like he said he might. I do have a noise for Wednesday nights, Corey. This particular studio doesn't have the that bell in it, unfortunately. But I keep thinking I could I can't switch back and forth. That would take the slide away out of the screen. So Matt DiTullio, he is the high bidder at 350. I'll say another 15 seconds on this one, and if we can get it another yeah, there you go. Mr. Redjack says the Lockjaw has a 70s porn stash. Was that intentional, Fred?
Fred says that was not intentional.
Yeah,
but clearly it's worth another $25.
I agree. I completely agree.
Which was my comment, not Fred's.
All right. Well,
I'm not sure how much Fred would value a 70s porn stash at.
I don't know. He may not want to.
He's just not going to answer.
That's what I was thinking.
That's probably the wise tactic.
Exactly. Well, Matt DiTullio is our winner on this one with $350. Thank you, Matt. We appreciate it. Yeah, it is kind of a Freddie Mercury stash. All right, that's probably a better way to define it. But all right. So next up, we have a Spider-Man piece. Look at this one. You get Spider-Man. You get villains. You get. This is like having 12 sketch cards on one board, Fred. And you did 3 in this style. This one's fun. I mean, the size on these. This is on 9 by 12, so each of the images are, well, they're kind of close to the 2.5 by 3.5, I guess. So it literally is like having 12 sketch cards on a thing. It's like an uncut. You get these sometimes with trading card sets, right? Everybody wants to get that uncut sheet of trading cards. So here you go. It's hope I haven't been able to highlight it. Paul came in at 300, and then Josh Flanders came in at 350. Alfredo's popping in at 450. Yeah, these. This is just. I just thought these were great. Yeah, and this one in particular with all the villains on it. There's no friends surrounding Spidey on this one. Paul Pappas is at 500. Thank you, Paul.
Fred does enjoy doing these quite a bit.
Does Fred have a favorite Spidey villain to draw?
Fred says Electro and Sandman.
Perfect.
It's a toss-up between those two.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen a few Electros before. All right, Paul.
So Electro, it's the lightning bolts that Fred enjoys drawing, and then Sandman, because of the way he's made up, he can put him in different poses and stuff.
Yeah, you can have a big sandy fist, or that could be like the gavel that I need today. It could be anything.
And Fred is not as big a fan of Doc Ock and all those arms.
There's not enough room on a sketch card to draw all those arms, Fred.
Exactly.
I actually think, one of the pieces I got from Fred, the first piece of art I ever got from Fred was at a Mid-Ohio show about 12 or 13 years ago, and it actually has Doc Ock on it. Doc Ock, the Fly, and Spider-Man. So, yeah. So I know he's done a few. I didn't know he didn't like drawing. But Alfredo's our high bidder now at 750. Thank you, Alfredo. And Paul comes back in at 800. All right. So I don't have to give a 15-second warning while we've got Alfredo and Paul thinking about it, kind of duking it out virtually here with the bids. But we appreciate all the bids from both of you gentlemen. But Paul's up top with 800. I'd say, Alfredo, if you want to keep at it, let us know. And if when you decide it's time to, when either of you decide it's time to tap out, just let us know, and then that'll make it easy, because we know one of you would love to own this one. Brian Bailey says use the dog bark as a bell noise. Can you make your dog bark on cue?
No,
Jeff?
I can do the bark on command.
All right. Well, Josh Flanders.
And as Brian Treat just mentioned, I think that Liberty was just increasing the bid to 900. But
well, Josh has thrown in a chocolate-covered strawberry bid. And Paul Pappas has dramatically raised that one up to $1,000. Thank you, Paul.
Hey, Fred Tariq asked if you've signed this piece.
Let's see. I've got a stack of these here. Let's see. Where? Oh yeah, it's signed. It's actually right below Craven. I could show okay. So Alfredo is out, but yeah, I can switch over to make me full screen, and I can show off the fact that it is indeed signed.
And there it is.
Right below Craven. I'm not sure why. Oh, I got these scans from you, Fred. That's right. I didn't scan this one, so maybe the scan was a little cropped when it came in. Apologies for that. I didn't notice that. But yes, everything is signed today.
Well, we got that all worked out. So
yep.
Thanks for asking, Tariq.
Yep. And I'll say if I don't get another bid in the next 15 seconds, Paul Pappas will be the proud owner of this wonderful Spidey piece. A second one for Paul today. And that's true. Combine on shipping, everybody. It's we don't double it up. You buy 2 pieces, it's still $30 if you're in the US. All right, so Paul, thank you very much, Paul. That is a great pickup.
And Fred says thank you too.
Okay, next up, we're switching back over to DC for the next couple of these. So we have lot number 5. You named the file when you shipped it to me, Maximum Jimmy, and this is on 9x12. You get Superman, you get all these iterations of Jimmy Olsen, and the opening bid on this one is $250. So, again, it is on 9x12. Lots of fun. Superman's confused, clearly. We got Marcus starting us off, and Earthquake coming in at 300. Thank you, Earthquake. Thank you, Marcus. I want the backstory on this one, though. What can you get? What does Fred have to say about this particular piece?
So Fred was a big fan of the Jimmy Olsen comics in the 60s and all the various iterations and powers that he'd manifested in those stories. And so he decided to put them all together in one drawing. And he noted that DC did that once or twice as well.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Porcupine Jimmy. We'll see if the bid gets raised now that Jeff's dog barked again. What's the name of the dog, Jeff?
That one was Liberty, and then Felicity is the other one. Liberty is the spider monkey that jumped up in my lap.
Needs the attention today. Crisis on Infinite Jimmy, says Goo. All right, well, Gabe Carino is our high bidder at 350. And I'll just say 15 seconds right now. If anybody else wants to throw a bid in, you better do it in the next couple seconds, because again, we are in the future and you are in the past to us. So don't delay on these. So if we don't get another bid, Mr. Gabe Carino, who is a patron of the show, will be the one to get this one. Brian Bailey says Jimmy Olsen was abused pretty much on a weekly basis, even by Lucy Lane. I'm sorry. God. But hey, typos are good sometimes. All right, so this one's going to Gabe at 350. Thank you, Gabe Carino. All right. Now, next up is another DC piece. This is a fun one. This is a Batman and Robin plus 10, and it's not all villains here. We get the Alfred's in this thing, the Commissioner's in this thing. But of course we got to have Joker. We got to have Penguin. The starting bid on this one is 250. It is on 9x12, like I think all the preceding pieces have been. So Marcus has dropped in at $500 to get us started. Thank you very much, Marcus. Cutting to the chase. Again, this is 12 sketch cards, on one board. That's it's a steal. So it's awesome. I mean, again, it's the uncut thing. I've got an uncut sheet of Wacky Packs on my wall. Literally 100 Wacky Pack stickers on one sheet. And this is pretty much the same thing. So Wayne came in at 550, Jim Martin at 6, and then Marcus raised it again at 7. Thank you all for your bids to keep this thing going. We appreciate it. But yeah, no, this is a good one. And Batman and Robin, center stage. Now everybody knows I'm not a DC guy, though. Mr. Redjack made sure that I now have the DC Comics Encyclopedia, the new edition. I do not know the name of the dog in the lower right-hand corner. So, Jeff, can you inform me of that? Do you know the name of the dog?
I do not know the name of the dog. Fred might know the name of the dog. It's Ace the Bat Hound. And Fred says this is the Silver Age Batman.
There you go. Everybody's hitting me up. I'm sorry, everybody. You know that I haven't got a chance to crack open the encyclopedia, but I would assume Ace is right at the front of it. And if he's not, that's a crime, right? I'm picking it up right now. We'll see if Mr. Redjack's encyclopedia that he bought for me has Ace at the beginning of this thing. I'm on. Let's see. No, Ace is not in the DC Encyclopedia. There's, let's see, All-Star Squadron, Abracadabra, then it's goes over to All Cast, and then Alpha Centurion. They skip right over Ace. He's not even a part of DC history in DC's own book.
Well, clearly they need an amended edition.
Yes, indeed. I saw Wayne is back in at 750, so thank you. on that one. And I saw Jim was at 725, but he is backing out. Try Super Pets. Okay, I'll take a look. Maybe they wedged him in under a different title. Let's
Or
see.
Brian suggests under Bat Hound.
Oh, Bat Hound. All right, Ace the Bat Hound Omnibus. Yeah, that one probably wouldn't be a big seller. Let's see. I'm just going to try Bat Hound first while I'm looking at this. So Wayne's our high bidder at 750. Yeah, I'm going to say 15 seconds, and we'll call this one. If we don't get another bid. Let's see. No, it goes right from Batgirl to Batman. So there, Bat Hound is not it. So we're going to look for Super Pets, and we'll see. Ace does need an omnibus. All right. There's a market. If there, maybe DC needs to do some focus groups out there. They we may be able to get one created one way or another. Maybe it's a downloadable PDF version. Maybe they don't go to print with it, but they give you a digital version.
I'm
All right,
trying to
so
think. Fred, have you done an Ace the Bat Hound card for the eBay store? Oh, it's only been a couple of times. Because Fred says he also ignored him for many years.
all right. Well,
Fred says he's no crypto.
now I bet you crypto's in here. I'm skipping over that, but I'm trying to find Super Pets, which I'm striking
I
out.
was going to say, I do have a crypto card, so.
So we know that
Yeah.
we've done quite a few of those. All right. Well, we're going to move on to the next one while I look up Super Pets. But thank you, Wayne, for the $750 winning bid. I'm sure I'll be able to add
Fred
that.
says thanks.
Yeah, Wayne. I'm going to be seeing Wayne at Heroes in June and delivering some artwork. So that's actually always an option for people if you're going to Heroes is the next show I'll be going to. So I can always hand deliver these or put them in the mail after the show. All right. So that's lot 6. Lot 7. This is a big one. This has got 20 Avengers on it. So it is on 9x12, but my goodness. Could you have fit another 20 on this one, Fred? I guess you would have had to go to something like, at minimum 11x17 would have been the size, but
Better they'd all be postage stamp size.
yeah. Yeah. No, I think this is awesome. It's so nice. Marcus is in.
Oh, Fred says he's going to try to do a Legion of Superheroes soon.
Oh, sweet. Well, this is Marcus is not playing around on this one. He sees something good, and he's picked Marcus. I remember, Marcus picked up a cover recreation, FF cover recreation back in the day. So one of our earliest shows with Fred. So no, I thought this was fantastic. And I love Tiger's in at an angle at the bottom. I mean, you kind of it's just fun all around. I was looking at this piece earlier today, and I think it's awesome. Jim Martin would bid on a Legion of Superheroes one. No Dr. Druid, says Mr. Redjack.
And Fred says he tried to put them in order chronologically.
Oh, you could go on and on and on forever with this one then. So we're still
at Jim Martin's pre-bidding on the Legion of Superheroes piece. So that may be a good one for you for the next show, Fred. Fred says it'll happen and it'll be twice as many characters.
All right. Well, I can tell everybody there is no Super Pets in the DC Encyclopedia either. I'm just going to get confirmation on whether Crypto. Of course, Crypto is in here on page 175. So Crypto's got his own page. No Super Pets, no Bat Hound, no Ace. Sorry, everybody. All right, Marcus, you are the man who has picked this one up. Thank you so much. Lot number 7 going to you for $1,000. And
congrats, Marcus.
Going to a good home.
And thanks from Fred.
All right, moving right along. Oh, we got a DC.
I guess when Ace gets to be in a movie, then he'll get added to the encyclopedia.
Oh, we can pray that day comes really soon. So here, look, we got 3 versions of the Flash. Barry, Jay, Wally, opening bid $200 on this one, 9x12. Look at all those speed lines in this one. I think the speed lines might have taken Fred longer to draw than the characters themselves. But what say you, Fred?
He says that is correct.
Okay. See, I'm getting to know a few things around here. Tom McDonald getting us started. Thank you, Tom.
I like the color match shadows.
Yeah, me too. I thought that was a very nice touch. It wouldn't be the same without it. And a reminder to everybody in the chat, especially all of those who are on YouTube, click that live button right next to the Green Lantern image of Tom McDonald's avatar right there. Clicking live will speed you up so you'll be as close to real time as possible with people in the chat, so that if you do want to bid on something, your bid will be seen while the art is still on screen. All right. So yeah, where's Nick? Nick Rucci's a big Flash fan. He's probably busy today having steak for lunch. But we got Tom's $200 bid, and if we don't get another one, we'll call this one in 15 seconds. So, interested at all, please do not delay. Heritage will not be hiring me at any time to be their auctioneer. That's not going to happen. It is charming, David. You're absolutely right. All right, we're going to call this one for Mr. McDonald. Thank you, Tom. You
Congrats, Tom.
got a good one. This one's going to Chicago. Tom McDonald is hosting a collector get-together on May 16th, if I'm not mistaken, in Chicago. For those of you who are in the Chicago area, you can find Tom through his CAF gallery, shoot him an email, and he can give you the specs on it. It's at a restaurant called Club Lago. It'll be in the evening around just after dinner time, I believe. But Tom and Josh Flanders can give you all the details. Look them up via their CAF gallery and email them. All right.
Looks like it's going to be a fun time.
I know. I want to go. All right. Next up, lot number 9. Now this one's the one, Fred. Your description didn't elaborate enough, but we're going to need some elaboration here. The Go-Go Check Scrolls. I'm assuming this is a DC reference, but I know you said you did it for something that you did a while back. I don't know if it's dated. I don't think it was, but have Fred explain to you what was the inspiration behind all of these lovely ladies. Check cereal too. Yep. But didn't DC use this in a pattern on like some of their 12-cent books or something like that? I feel like. Chicks. Okay.
And so that was on your website?
Oh, behave.
So on Fred's website, there is a section where he does across the page, and it's artwork that goes across the page, as the name implies. And he thought these were an interesting design, and incorporated them there, and that's where they entered his repertoire, I guess. And you said they were from DC? Oh, based on the DC Go-Go Chicks.
There you go. I threw a link in the chat so everybody can see Fred. Well, that's Fred's site. That's at hembeck.com, and it's the across the page gallery. I haven't scrolled down to find the check scrolls yet, but there's a lot of good art in there. That Alpha Flight's pretty awesome. Same thing with the Expos one. My goodness, you're just making people think of other things they'd love to see you draw again one day, Fred. When you go in there and look up on your website, my God. All right, I gotta stay focused. Ilya, $150 bid on the check scrolls. Thank you for that. Yeah, they did have something, right? Okay, that's what I thought. I mean, not a big reader, but I do recall the graphic design on the cover. So we'll go 15 seconds on this one. If we don't get another bid, $150. This one's going to Ilya. We need I got to get that gavel around here. I need a sound effect. But all right, Ilya, we're going to give this one to you, $150. And You got a good one. Everybody remember, if you win any of the lots today, you got to email me after the show, bill@comicartfans.com, and I will send you the payment information and get the artwork shipped out early next week. All right, congrats on that one. So let's see, we'll go to lot 10. So we're halfway done today. Next up is that Mars Attacks cover I showed off a little bit earlier. So how did I'd like to know how this gig even came about, right? It's an IDW book. It's Mars Attacks the Holidays. It's a holiday book, and yet and maybe that's they felt like Fred can convey the holiday cheer better than anyone else. But did the phone ring? An editor on the phone said, "Fred, Mars Attacks," or was it something else? Thank you, Earthquake, for that $400 bid.
So Fred says that they contacted him, not by phone, and he also did a 9-page story on the inside, and that they requested the mask for the cover. It wasn't his idea.
Oh, that's interesting. So they were trying to they were channeling what would be a good thing for Fred to draw. So the masks, okay, put the mask on. I'm not going to cut this thing out of the board, Marcus, and wear it for the show today. Sorry to say, but Earthquake is our high bidder at $400. Get us started on this one. Yeah, I had no idea. So you had a 9-page story on the inside too. That's cool. And Dave Kopecki. Thank you, Dave. Dave's in at 425. Thank you, Earthquake, for getting us started. The real question is, I know Jeff is hearing it, this is whether or not Fred got the rights to it.
So Fred says that he wrote and drew the 9-page story on the inside.
There you go. That's what I was going to ask.
And that he'd wanted to do Christmas story, but one had already been set for the issue. So he then did a Halloween story where one of the characters was dressed up as Santa.
Very nice. Oh, that's awesome. I had a feeling because Fred is a good writer. We know that he's done a lot of his own writing. He's done all of his own writing, I think. In fact, I mean, who could write for Fred? That's a good question. I don't think I've ever asked Fred that. Can you ask Fred if he's ever had someone else write a Dateline or anything for him that was like kind of a surprise writer, slipped into something that Fred was already working on?
He says not all of his work he's been the writer on, but most.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to say 15 seconds.
He says he had someone write a Dateline recently for the Howard Chaykin collection.
Oh, cool.
The one that's based on behind the scenes of comics.
Nice. All right, Dave. Well, we're going to call this one a 425 for you. You got a great IDW cover. And, how often has Fred done Mars Attacks sketch cards in the past? I would have to believe maybe.
Yes, he has.
And just as a general question from Wayne, do you still own the 9-page story, the Mars Attacks one that you wrote with Santa?
He says yes, and he's planning to hold on to it for a while.
There you go, Wayne. Well, at least you know where it's at, Wayne. All right. Well, thank you to Mr. Kopecki for picking that one up. Now, next up, we have another cover. Actually, this is we had an Avengefuls cover in our last show. So this is another one. It's on 11 by 14, priced at $400. This was that Rich Johnston thing, right? Where there was kind of a parody, but the other one was a kind of a riff on a early Avengers cover. And so now, and I think Cap was singing on that one too. So I had no idea he was a crooner, but clearly 2 times is a charm.
Fred says it's Captain America Idol.
Captain America.
He says that's what they called it.
Did they really? Oh, Alberto's got this, and this does come with a comic signed by Fred as well. So anybody whoever wins this one will get the comic to go along with it. That's America's butt. It is America's butt. He's shaking it. Look at all the ladies in the background are pretty happy to be checking it out too. Yep. Rogers the musical. He could do it all. You guys, see, this stuff writes itself. He can do it all day. Yep, yep, yep. No, no, no. But all right, Alberto. This is Alberto is Cap's biggest Captain America fan. We do all know that. I mean, he doesn't. He still uses his real name in the chat, Alberto Gonzalez, but he could just change it to #1 Cap fan, and we'd still know who it was. But yeah, that's they do. Oh, that's true. Well, they will go well together since you do own the first cover. That is quite true, Alberto. And I don't even
It'll
know
be a matched pair.
exactly. Alberto, is it up in your calf gallery, the first one? I don't remember seeing it. But if not, I know Alberto picks up stuff and he kind of meters it out real slowly into his calf gallery to kind of let all his art purchases simmer a little bit. Oh, it is in his calf gallery. All right, cool. Well, we don't get another bid in 15 seconds. Alberto's going to be able to add this one to his collection and put it right next to the one he bought last show. So place a bid or forever hold your peace. So Captain America's Got Talent. Yes, he does, Goo. All right, Alberto has picked this one up. Yeah, and that's a good one. Thank you, thank you. There we go. Let me see. Now we've got, well, everything else outside of the last piece are all published pieces. Now this next one is a set. It's 2 pieces. And so I've got 2 different slides to show here. This was from a book. I was actually able to find, the printed versions of these too. This is from something called Stan Lee Meets Spider-Man, issue 1. It might have only had 1 issue. I have no idea. I'm not sure if it had a life beyond that one book. But this is a 2-page story where, there's a line to meet Stan Lee, and it's all the lower tier heroes are getting stuck at the back of the line, and of course Fred ends up joining them because he and Stan have a history as well, and even he couldn't get to the front of the line with all the rest of the heroes. So this is the first page of the 2-page story, and here's the second one with kind of the conclusion. But very nice. So $500 was the price put on these 2 pages, and I think I think they're still drawn on maybe a little bit more larger page, like 12 by 17. They're a little bit wider than normal, but yeah, Wayne, just hit refresh on your web browser. So that's the easiest way to do it. I was in charge of the line at San Jose. That's how that happened. This is like a con. Yeah, I guess it could be a con line. I don't think it referenced that it was at a show or a comic convention. Switch back and show the first slide again. But yeah, you get to 2 pages of 9 panels each, and the atypical Fred Hembeck self-portrait, and many of them. And there's Frenchie too. Now I bet Frenchie's probably not appeared on too many cards, right, Fred? That you've drawn and sold in the past.
That's Pinky, and he has.
Pinky. I'm
Pinky
sorry.
Pinkerton.
Oh my gosh, I'm all right. I guess I'm going to HCLL for that. Pinky, not Frenchie. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Fred says you're thinking of Blackhawk.
Yes, I am. All right.
But I know Fred's done Pinky both solo on a card and with Santa during the holidays.
All right. Well, that's my bad, and I'm yeah, and these are on like 14 by 17 boards actually. So yeah, they are huge. I'm looking at them right now, but yeah, good gag. Marcus has put a bid in at $500. Thank you, Marcus. He's the look. And it actually has you have a note. You have a little footnote on the second page, Fred. It says cartoon Fred, hair, beard, mustache, medium brown, headed out inner board line if possible. Were they giving your beard a different color at the time, Fred?
He was trying to eliminate a line there.
Ah, got it. Oh, I see. Yeah, and I see where you're talking about on it too. I'm getting in trouble in the chat.
Fred says this is one of the last things that he sent to Marvel that they had to return before they just started sending scans.
Oh, interesting. Is there a stamp on the back? No. Okay. I'm getting a Marvel encyclopedia. I actually own 2 Marvel encyclopedias. What did Fred say?
So Fred says this is also the return of Cartoon Fred after a number of years into Marvel Comics. And Marvel had Fred talk to a lawyer to make sure it was okay that Fred appeared.
How could that be in question?
And that had not been the case in prior appearances.
Okay.
And in the end, it was all just fine, and he was very nice.
Awesome. Well, I think we're going to be able to call this one for Marcus. He's got this is going to be his second lot today. So Marcus, thank you so much. Yeah, at 250 a page, that is definitely a good pickup. Even if this was a one issue Stan Lee meets Spider-Man book, and it wasn't followed up. So let's see. That was lot 12. We got lot 13 next, and oh, that's that one. And there we go. Lot 13. This is an awesome DPS. It's from Marvel Age 89. I was able to find the spread on it too. So I mean, you get a bevy of villains and some good storyline here. I think this issue of Marvel Age was something about the return of Nova. So I'm not quite sure how they approached Fred to to do the piece and if they gave him any direction on it. I assume since Fred probably wrote all this, that he got to do all his own direction on it. But maybe you can give us a little background on how this gig came about, because you were doing a lot of work for Marvel Age. Every issue you had a spread or a single page strip piece in it. But Nova. Yeah, and then I even got a slide here I can show. It's got the image even better. There you go. And this one's got,
Fred was a big fan of the character and the original run with his series. And then when they brought him back for the New Warriors, they asked him to do a piece that focused on the New Warriors. So he then centralized on Nova's return.
awesome. I didn't even notice Spidey, Nick Fury, and Thor are also drawn into this one. I don't know how I missed that. But he got one of his favorite Spider-Man villains in there. Sandman's in there as well. We got Yellow Claw. We got the Sphinx, Diamond Head, the Condor. Man, this is awesome.
Yep, Fred was a big fan of Nova.
And we're at $800 to Paul Pappas, $900 now to Seth W. Thank you, Seth. I like at the end of it, it says low in cholesterol, high in humor. It's Hembeck spread. All right, so this isn't a DPS. This is an HS. We've got a new term. Oh man, I love it. Now the Nova logo is drawn on there too. It's so well drawn. I thought maybe it looked like it had dimensionality, like maybe it might have been a stat, but it's not. It's drawn right on there. The TM is a stat right beside the Nova logo. But yeah, this is great. Blue Blazes, I'm back. Fantastic. All right, there you go. HBS, that's better than HS. HBS. Love it, Paul Pappas.
I think we'll have to add a new category to CAF.
We will.
On the drop-down menu for art type.
Exactly. There'll be only this one. And yeah, we'll have to make it so it's only available to Paul Pappas, so he gets it posted on the CAF. But yeah, this is great. Is that Sherlock Holmes in the last panel? I think it is. How did I not notice this when I was looking at it earlier? But wow. Well, you did cram everybody in there.
Fred says he believes it's a robot Sherlock Holmes.
Ah, all right. We're at $1,100. All right. Thank you, Seth W. And of course, Paul Pappas with the HBS exclamation point. We appreciate you both having interest in this one. It is beautiful. That's I got masking tape down the back like it should, so I can actually hold it up for everybody. Switch over to my camera here for a second. And I see Paul raised it to 1250. I have the banner here. Come on, here we go. So very nice, and yeah, I didn't include a scan of the back, but for those of you who are interested, it is got the vintage.
Fred says that's official Marvel paper.
All right. It is a great GPS. Yeah, I mean it's right on point. I love it. All right. Well, we're at 1250 to Paul Pappas. If Seth is interested or anybody else, throw another bid in soon, or we will call this one at 1250. Boy, you did a good job hand lettering all these things, Fred. You know that, don't? I mean, of course you know that, all the CBG Dateline pieces and everything, but but yeah, you knew what you were doing. You bolded all the right points with the characters or the team names, and it's fantastic. You had to do it all though, because these were all 100% you. Oh my God, I actually thought this thing said Mike Berkey in the bottom. It says Mike Burley.
Fred says thanks. He's always enjoyed lettering.
Awesome. All right. Well, we are. I'm guessing Seth is not going to throw another bid in there. So, Seth, we appreciate your interest in this piece. There are some other vintage Marvel Age pieces that we're going to show right after this one, but Paul Pappas is our winner with this one at 1250. Thank you, Paul. That's Paul's third pickup today. Thank you very much. All right.
Cool. And thank you, Paul from Fred.
All right, sorry, I'm going to highlight this next one over here. So swinging over to that. So we get this comment off there from Paul. So here's a DPS. Now this one's done on 11 by 17, and it is trimmed. It's hard to see in the way the way my scanner picked it up, because it almost makes it look like it isn't trimmed. But it is 11 by 17 full, and it was printed as a DPS in Marvel Age 31. It's on 11 by 17. It's a pictorial history of Henry Pym. So you get how many panels is in this thing? You've got 14 panels, 12 with Pym in them. Pym particles. I don't know if that was written into the piece, but here I'll go ahead and show just so you can see how it was trimmed, because this is of that era where once they when they would go to print with these things, they tape this stuff on a board and then or on a drum, and they'd have to cut it off rather than take the time to do it nice and neatly. They basically butchered the artworks in the corners typically to do the print process. So typically it's like just in the corners, but on this one you get it in the two lower corners and actually right across the top into those areas, which we've seen before. I think if you go on a calf, you'll see similar ones, but typically it would be just in the corners. But still, DPS on 11 by 17. And
there was a particular era Marvel, whoever they had doing their printing, that was notorious.
Yeah, did it really save them a lot of time to have to do that? I mean, it seems unfortunate. Oh, well, thank you, Paul Pappas, for your patronage today. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. I'm sure we'll be emailing later today.
And Fred says he does have other pages like that during the process got the same treatment.
Now I know when I Googled around, this image comes up strangely, kind of fairly often when when you do something where you search on Pym and anything historical about the character. If you do an image search, this one's up there. So it's noteworthy, and it was drawn by Fred when you're thinking about a classic Marvel character. I thought that was fun.
Well, where else are you going to get that many Pym panels?
Exactly. Giant size Ant-Man. Yeah, that was the 70s. You're right, Marcus. Well, we don't have a bid on this one yet, everybody. So if we don't get a bid, this one will end up going back to Fred. So we need to. Jim Martin. Thank you, Jim. Got us started there with the $400 bid. Appreciate that a lot. Thank you, Jim. Isn't this? Uh, I get, yeah, it probably is. I mean, what we just saw. I mean, this is from issue 31, and Fred drew this on one board versus the DPS that was from issue 89, drawn on two different boards. But I guess, Fred, typically with something like this, would they? Uh, I assume Marvel didn't care if you did it on a single board or you did it on two boards.
Um, I don't remember why it changed. Oh, I think I do because they started paying me for 2 pages instead of one.
Oh,
Ah,
Fred says he thinks it's because I started paying him for 2 pages instead of one.
so this was Fred figuring. Yeah, okay, well that makes sense. Yeah, you're only getting paid for one page because of the 11 by 17, even though you're doing two. Hmm. Yeah, I think a lot of that was a trick that Marvel was doing. I think back in the day, getting 2 pages drawn on one board and only paying the artist for one page rather than two. So smart to move to the two 11 by 17s. So Marcus was at 450. Jim raised him to 500. Thank you very much, Jim. And Rich Cirillo. Hey, Rich. 550. We thank you for that. I thought Rich might have been. Rich has gotten several Mars Attacks commissions from different shows in the past, even OAX. So I thought maybe he might be a player on the Mars Attacks piece, but he's found a good one here with this history of Henry Pym. Now I assume typically, Fred, you had no other than that direction about the hair, beard coloring the pieces really wasn't something that you gave any direction on, because this whoever colored it knew your sensibilities for a piece like this.
You're correct. Coloring was not something I did.
Bill, you're correct. Coloring was not something that Fred had much involvement with.
Okay. All right, well, we're going to say 15 seconds here. And if no one else bids, Rich Cirillo will be the proud owner of this wonderful early Marvel Age piece from issue 31. Use your cut bids, people. Use it or lose it. See, Alberto could handle doing a claim/auction show here. Oh, 24/7. Thank you, Carl. Carl's come in at $600. Thank you. Carl's a regular here. Now, Fred drew an Elementals piece, then we could duke it out. Now, has Fred, the Kamiko Elementals team, Fred, have you ever done anything with that team?
I don't believe I have.
Fred doesn't believe that he has.
Fred, we're going to talk because, yeah, it might be interesting to see. 'Cause, I would never bid against any of my fellow collectors while I'm hosting a show. But if Jeff Wedding were here, he could step in on a lot that was the Elementals, and we could see who the true element, not the true Elemental fan, but the Elemental fan with the most muster to get a Fred Hembeck drawn Elementals piece.
Sounds like Josh Flanders may be on that as well.
Yeah, there's a few. There's a few people out there for that one. All right, Fred. Yeah, we will talk about it. But Carl's back in at 675, 24/7 Comics, and there you go. Josh Flanders had Fred do a Grendel. Yeah, Josh is a man of many tastes.
Fred wants to know when the Elementals were last published.
I mean, when it mattered to me, it would have been like 88, I think, maybe 80, right? 88. But I think they still did like, they had like the single character books came out a few times. Let's see. Oh, so Rich came in at 700, then 24/7. Carl came back at 750 on this one. Thank you, one and all. Boy, yeah. I'll have to double check that. I feel terrible that I don't know the exact date for the last one. Rich Cirillo's back in at 775. It started slow, but it's building up. Yes, it is. All right. Well, okay. 24/7's back. 1996, Derek? Huh. I didn't think that who was drawing it in 96? Was that like Anderson? Anyway, well, we're going to talk. I'm going to talk with Fred about this. We're going to come up with something Elementals related for the next show that I do with Fred, and I get to I'll step away from the microphone and go in and get into the chat myself when we have that piece up. All right, so Ursula is back in at 8:25. Thank you. Carbon dioxide says Hembeck rules. That is very, very accurate. Oh my gosh. Well, there you go. 24/7 is saying they really want this one. $1,000 bid from Carl. Thank you, Carl. Oh, it's a mini series, huh? Okay. Tony Salvador Daniel. I'm not aware of that one. But thank you, Professor Derek, for that one. So we're at $1,000.
If anyone's going to know, it would be the professor.
Yes, it would. All right, Bill. I did lose my biggest elemental spinning patch. I'm sorry, I don't remember that one. I mean, everybody knows I was a Willingham Elementals fan. Bill Willingham was my guy. He carried over from my love for Dungeons and Dragons and the work he did there, and he rolled it right into the Elementals, and that's why I really, really love the Elementals probably as much as anything. But if we don't get another bid, 24/7 Comics, Carl Choi will get this one at $1,000. And Rich is bowing out. So we're going to go ahead and just say, Carl, this one is yours. Congrats. Very nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much from Fred, Carl.
All right. Now, next up, let's see here. This is a Cap piece, and it's a good one. Now, and again, this one I could not find the published version of it. I know that I wish I had that little script that you wrote for me, and now I can't find it because you had told me a little bit about this. Oh, here it is. Let's see. This is from a book called he called it Captain America Preview Strip, and you said it was a one issue, very short-lived successor to Marvel Age, and this is the top 9 perks of being Captain America. And I mean, he's throwing a shield and screaming, "Eat your heart out, whammo!" And he's getting he's at a parade for himself. He gets cherry pie wherever he goes to a diner. He's so he can tell Nick Fury to stop smoking, and even Bob Hope in that number 5 panel, can serenade him during Christmas. But he said everybody. I love that. See, I gotta get the script in front of me here because let's see. Like panel number 4 says he gets to declare all of America as his dependents on his income tax. I love that one. And then even in number 3, it says official escort of every Miss America. And Cap says, "Are you going to wear that crown during our date?" And she says, "Only if you're going to wear that mask." Now, is that appropriate for this channel? If that's not, then I have no idea what is. Oh, there we go. Rick's in there, and at 450, Rick Urbanus, thank you. But yeah, that I want to just take a little screenshot. That panel right there, and that should be something we utilize on the channel at some point in the future. Because Fred, just so you know, everybody gets a laugh out of me wearing a Captain America mask because somebody sent me one, and it was made for probably a 10-year-old child. So every time I put that Cap mask on, I mean, I think I'm going to pass out within about 10 seconds because it cuts off the flow of blood to my brain, everything else. All right, there's a lot of bids popping in here. So Alberto's in at 850 over Justin Porter's 800.
Fred says he'd like to see that, Bill.
I'll show
you. And also hello to Rick.
I'll show you a screen grab at some point, but Justin Porter back in at 900. And I guess this must have happened during the baseball strike because even, the number 1 is, but, even I'm not inspiration enough to end this strike. So that had to have been during one of the baseball strikes.
Yep. So Fred says that one's a bit dated.
It's a time capsule, 1250. And just so everybody knows, Alberto's 1250 came in right before Rick Verbanus's, but Justin Porter, came in at 1400 and Alberto at 1500. There we go. So Alberto has got the high bid on that one. But yeah, this is a good one. Being the Star Spangled Avenger is a full-time job, but it's all work and no play for Steve Rogers. Hardly. And these are the top perks of being Cap. And it says, "No, we're not afraid of being sued. We just couldn't come up with 10 good examples." All right, so Alberto's 1600 is right ahead of Justin Porter's 1600. Thank you both, and of course Rick Verbanis was in at 1550 a few seconds before that. Justin's in at 1800. Thank you, Justin. And Alberto has placed a $2,000 bid on this one. Thank you very much, Alberto. Yeah, this is a good one. I just wish I could have found the book. I was very curious. You know, when you said it was a successor to Marvel Age, I figured there had to have been a few other gags and interesting Marvel factoids in it, and I could not find a copy of the book scanned online anywhere.
It came out with, I believe, one for the X-Men, one for Iron Man, one for Spider-Man, and Captain America. He's focusing entirely on it. I remember the Captain America one had a Simon and Kirby story that wasn't in the first 10 issues of Captain America. So it's a nice book.
Fred says it's a nice book. That there was an issue for Iron Man, one for Spider-Man, one for the X-Men, and the Captain America book here had a Simon and Kirby story that was not reprinted along with the original 10. Had it been published before?
I think in one of the maybe All Winners or one of the other anthology books.
Fred says it was in one of the other anthology books, like All Winners or something.
Got it. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to dig around some more. So Alberto is in at $2,100, and I saw Rick is still in the chat. I don't know if he's bowing out, but he says, Fred, this is how it typically goes on eBay between Alberto and I when it's a cap-related Hembeck card. Yes, that's that's tough. But 15 seconds or forever hold your peace, Mr. Verbanis. And this one will go to Alberto if we don't get another bid. And okay, Rick's still in, 2150. Thank you, Rick. Yeah, this is a good one. Oh, it even has a reference to Kang in it too. The Avengers have fought Kang to a virtual standstill, but the world still wants to know where is Cap. And it was Flag Day, so he took the day off. That was in the number 2 panel. So, all right, well, we have Alberto back at 2250.
Sometimes I laugh at my own joke. Sorry.
Oh, Derek says he sent us a link.
Fred says he hasn't read these since he did them. Sometimes he does laugh at his own jokes. And I think capturing the baseball strike is a little bit of history that, that's what comics are, is a boiled down bit of the culture of the time.
Exactly. All right, so Rick is back. Yeah, well, yeah. We've got him back in at $2,300, and Alberto at $2,350. Thank you both. Yeah, it's tough. Vintage published Hembeck art, all cap, every panel. $2,400. Thank you both. Okay, it's a cap duel. There's a new hashtag for the show right there. Alberto's in at 2,500. Yeah. Yeah, the Bob Hope is a little dated too. You're right. And it does say Bob Hope visits him at Christmas. Let's see. There we go. Here, I'll go ahead and share my screen here, and I can show what the published image looked like. So for those of you who are in the chat who are interested in what the published page looks like, let me hide this. So there you go. That is what it looked like right there. Thank you, Derek.
I believe Derek sent that to us.
Yep. Thank you very much, Derek. The professor has found it. Nicely done. All right, so back over here. Where are we at? We're still at $2,500. If we don't get another bid, I give it 10 seconds, Rick. If you're in, you're in. If you're out, oh, and there as soon as I say it, he's back in at 25.50.
It looks like Derek may have even pulled that off of his bookcase. So if you're still in the chat, Fred says he thinks that was printed on really nice paper.
It
So
looks
Derek can
really
give us
clean.
a thumbs up or not.
Yes. So we're $2,600. Rick, I can do this all day, says Alberto. Yes, fair warning. Fair warning. You have a couple other pieces to look at here, gentlemen. So let us know, Rick, if you're still in, or forever hold your peace. You'll know where it is if you ever want to try to pry it from Alberto's hands one day.
And Derek gave the thumbs up. So that was on nice paper.
Awesome. Okay. Rick, again, 10 seconds, Rick, or we're going to call this one for Alberto at $2,600. Girls, I want to see this all day. All right.
And Rick apparently can keep pace.
All right, come on. This is a like a, I don't know, like a rock'em sock'em robots. You guys keep hitting each other in the jaw, but nobody's head's popped off yet. Alberto's back in at $2,700. Do you counter Rick Verbanis? How's that? I remembered the proper pronunciation. Tom McDonald has now come in to stir the pot out of left field. Even Alberto just fell off his chair. Everyone has fallen off their chairs at the moment. Thank God, God, that I am standing right now, or I would have fallen off mine. All right. Well, Tom McDonald, $2,800. He'll be able to show this thing off at that get-together in Chicago in a few weeks. All right, everybody. Alberto back in at $2,850. My goodness. All right. This is amazing, Tariq. This is amazing. I completely agree with you. Alberto. Hey, we're all friends in this hobby, even if we outbid one another. Now you know how I felt when I was trying to win the Kasara, the Psydoc piece when Kat, Kazra and I are bidding on the piece, and then Kat throws a bid in right at the end. What was she thinking? That's not supposed to happen. But all right, so Alberto, $2,850 with a smile on his face, has placed that bid. And if I'm going to say 10 seconds. If somebody doesn't throw a bid in here, then we're going to call this one for Alberto. Lot 16, right? Do I have it listed as 15 on there? That's my typo. Okay, Rick is bowed out. Lots closing. Fair warning. All right, there we go. That was the longest session of bids I think we have ever had on this show before. So thank you, Alberto, Tom, Rick, everybody who was in on this one. 28.
Yeah, Justin.
Yeah, Justin too. Yeah, I forgot. It was like 5 minutes ago. Well, fantastic.
And Fred says, thank you all.
And yes, that was lot 15. I'm just making a mess of my my sheet here. All right. Yeah, that was wow, that was a marathon. Okay. Well, we do have 3 more to look at here. Let me hide this.
That's right. Half your sheet's just going to be the bids on that piece.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
And
now,
Fred says, hi, everybody.
Yeah, we're back. Okay, we got just 3 more pieces to look at here. Well, 2 more pieces and 1 more, choose your single character. So this is from the Comic Buyer's Guide. So it was done in the mid 90s, probably or even early 90s, we could say. It's on 14 by 17 board. The opening bid on this one is $400. And what was your notes on this one? Let me see here. I know I've got the handwritten sheet here, and I should have highlighted these a little bit better for myself. I can't find it. Oh, there it is. The dateline, mid 90s, Comics Buyer's Guide, Focus on Giant Man versus the Human Top by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, which I think you kind of ripped on Kirby and Lee works a lot. I remember we had a piece on a couple shows ago, maybe a year ago, where you had done kind of almost cover homages or recreations within the Dateline pieces. So Kirby and Stan Lee were just easy resources for you to draw from for the Comics Buyer's Guide? I would assume, and we'll see. We got 400 here.
Fred says yes.
Awesome. So
This was my favorite Giant Man story.
He says this is his favorite Giant Man story.
very nice. So we have Greg McKee in here with a $400 bid to get us started. Thank you, Greg. There's a lot of word bubbles in there. There are. Yeah. Well, there was a lot to say in this one. But it is a lot of reading. But that just shows you that you had a lot of. You can't write that much without having a plan, Fred. I imagine you probably did a lot of prelim work to kind of figure out how you could get in all the copy that you wanted to write.
I don't remember, but I just managed to do it.
He says he doesn't remember exactly, but he managed to do it.
All right, Jim Martin's in a court. Thank you, Jim. We appreciate that. Is this a these Dateline pieces were a single story. These appeared in the Comic Buyer's Guide, the old publication that many art collectors used to get overnighted to themselves so that they could get the jump on every other art buyer that were out there. But these appeared in that. It was kind of a newspaper format. That's the size of the shape of this particular piece. It's different, 14 by 17, and it does fill the board. So it's not your standard comic book. It wasn't printed in a standard comic book. It was printed in a tabloid format. Rich Donnelly's back in at 600. Thank you for that. And Ryan DS was also in there at 500 earlier. I just didn't get a chance to highlight it before he was outbid. And again, this is lot 16. And for those of you who are following along, the X-Men piece will be the next one before we do the final auction for a custom sketch card. Rich Donnelly is in at $600 on this one, and it is nice. But yeah, these were always one page kind of like you get in your newspaper strip, but it was a full page. Number one Marvel fan says Comic Buyer's Guide was a golden time. Missed those days. That is true. I only came in at the tail end, and I wasn't buying art at the time, so I didn't really get the whole full effect. But the stories that I've heard about those who were collecting art when Comic Buyer's Guide was in its heyday are always very fun. I always, John Mancuda was the first person who told me about how he always overnighted the newspaper to him, so he would get it ahead of everybody else, so he could call Albert or Mitch and get the artworks that were available. I'm sure Rich Donnelly knew about the Comics Buyer's Guide. He probably was doing the same thing, getting them overnighted. But Rich Donnelly, $700 high bid on this one. Thank you. Outbid Ryan DS, who's put another bid in at $750. Thank you, Ryan. There's all kinds of good stuff going on. So $750 back at Ryan there. We get that highlighted. Is that Steve Rogers in the Giant Man costume? Probably not. Can I do a dramatic reading? Now that would take longer than the last auction lot did, I think. So no, I will not do a dramatic reading of the piece. I will take a look at it. Show it to you on camera. I can switch over to me here so you can see how awesome it is here. Let me go right here. So there you go.
Bill, you could read it and record
it. This one does come. Now, it's kind of hard to see, and I knew my scanner wouldn't pick it up because it doesn't pick up pencils very well. But you did draw, it looks like a Superman with some really big kneecaps there on the back. Or is that not a Superman? It's got a big S on his chest, so I think it's a Superman. But
yeah, Fred and I can't see the pencils too clearly on the vid, but he believes it is a Superman.
All right. So that's a bonus. A twofer, I guess we'd call that one. So Ryan, $750 is our high bidder. Switch back over to that slide. Get me off camera. Very nice. All right. Well, I would just say that we don't get another bid in the next 15 seconds. We'll call this one for Ryan. 25 cents per word. Yeah, that's a lot to read. I'm not doing it. Maybe after the show, I'll record myself reading it before I pack and ship it to Ryan. All right. Well, I think we can go ahead and call this one for Ryan. Thank you, Ryan. Oh, nope. there we go. Rich Donnelly.
Right as you were saying the words.
Yep. See, this is tough. I need that gavel. That's the thing we gotta have in here. I'm telling you from now on, I'm gonna have it in here and at the ready. There's been times where I need the gavel, for other things, and we can use that. This piece comes with its own magnifying glass. Mr. Redjack. Hey, Mr. Redjack, thank you for the Mike and Ike's. I did dive into those last night and I ate 2 boxes of Mike and Ike's before I went to bed. And I didn't have good dreams, but I appreciate the candy. I do. All right. So, Ryan's back in at 8:50. I was just going to start to say the 15-second sentence again, and here we go. So Ryan's in at 8:50. Thank you. Bid extender, cut bids. Anybody? What you got? So, yeah. Well, you don't need a magnifying glass, though, Brian, because it is really a large piece of art. And I'm going to say the 15-second thing right now. And if we get another bid, great. If not, okay. Rich Donnelly is surrendering. Okay. So, Ryan, congrats. $850 on lot number 17. Or, 16. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm still got I've got so many notes on this thing. It's a mess. But I'll have it all cleared
Congrats,
up.
Ryan.
Fred's taking notes too, so I know there's no way we're going to have any mistakes by the time this is all over. All right, let's see. The last published piece for the day is lot 17. Opening bid on this one is $500. It's from X-Men Millennial Visions. I think this came out in 2000, 2001, somewhere around in that era. This is on 14 by 17. It's rather large. It does have a little bit of white space on the right side of that. I'll show it off so you can see how it was done on the published piece here. I'm still full screen, so switch the camera over here. There you go. So it does have a little extra white space on here, but it is so that I think when I measured it, it came out to like 12 by 17, for the cut area. But if I go back to the slide, you can see how the published image looked in the book. We've got Rich Donnelly at 7. Thank you to Tariq and to Wayne for getting in those bids while I was handling the art. Need Bill, yeah. But where is Jason? I figured he'd be a player on this. So I thought this is great. I love Nightcrawler in this one. He's just kind of kicking back on Cable and Colossus's shoulders. It's really, really fun. Professor X is in the back, and there's some notes on the side. What does it say? Professor X's lap blanket should be blue. Red or yellow for the X circles, your choice. Aaron Odinson is in at 1,000. Wayne's in at 1,100. Rich had a $800 bid in there, so a lot of bids are popping in. $1,200 for Rich Donnelly. And but I'm pretty sure it was 2000. Let's see, there was actually a stamp on the back of this one. Doesn't list the year though. I think it was 2002. Aaron Odinson's in at 1,400. Thank you, Aaron. Yeah, there was that book was it was a set of different separate images by different artists that were just kind of characterizing the team in different ways. So this was Fred's take on it. So they give you any direction on the Millennial Visions piece, Fred?
I don't recall that they did, and they just wanted to tell me what the situation was.
Fred,
I was unable to find my copy of it, so I didn't really know where it was. Do you have it?
Fred said he couldn't find his copy of it, and so he didn't even really remember where it was. But they didn't give him too much direction; just explained, what the format was going to be.
Well, that's cool. So then you did it. There was no back and forth, and at least there's no. I don't think there's any white on here, so no corrections. We got Wayne's bid at $2,000. He was the high bidder. I saw Aaron had 1875 thrown in there as well. So thank you all for bidding on it. Rich had a $1,600 bid too. But right now, Wayne, top bidder, $2,000. I'll say 20-second warning, so everybody can have some thoughts. And maybe Jason D'Ambrosia will actually pop in and throw a bid in like Tom McDonald did earlier. But you never know. 20 seconds, and we'll call it. Another bid. Yeah, X-Men fans. Hembeck, if Hembeck drew at least 6 issues of the X-Men, I would have put Fred in my top 5 X-Men artists, but he didn't. He only drew this pinup that I know of that was published. Jim Martin is throwing in more Legion of Superhero future bids on those headshot pieces, Fred. So I think a Legion of Superheroes piece is definitely it should be on your list for our next show.
It will be.
He says it will be.
Awesome. All right. Well, we don't have another bid, so I think this one is going to Wayne. Thank you, Wayne. You got a really nice piece here. I mean, it is gorgeous. Make sure you bring a big portfolio with you to the Heroes, so that when I hand deliver that, I'm gonna have to bring a big one. All right. I didn't even think about that. All right, that'll work out though. So Wayne, congrats on it. 2000. All right. So last but not least, let me switch to the lot 18. So we have a single character sketch card on 2.5 by 3.5. You've seen them, you love them. They're on eBay. They're all over CAF. Opening bid on this one is $50. You get to basically commission Fred, which is something you can't do through eBay. You can only do it here. And starting bid on these is $50. And yeah, I mean, what's not to love when the idea that you can actually get any of the X-Men characters that you wanted. We could even have, Rich could commission an Elementals character, but I think he should hold off because I do think we'll have a team piece in the next auction. So Margaret threw her $50 bid in the start. George Hodge, who will also be participating in Mystery Sketch with sketch cards. He did some amazing ones at IC3, and George will be helping us out and participating in the Mystery Sketch in May. So
George did an OIX card for me.
Oh, he did. Awesome.
Yeah.
George is a man. I've got to put some Comic Art Live cards in the mail for him on Monday. But yeah, and George's name is on the website now. We had a meeting earlier, and when George confirmed it, I put his name up there so you can see it. But where are we at? Joe.
And Fred, George is the one that actually requested the Wolverine and his patch outfit that you just put up recently. That's where that idea came from.
That was a good one.
Fred says it was a good idea.
All right. Well, Joe is our high bidder at $125. So we'll give you the 20-second count on this one too. Anybody wants to throw in one? But see, Rich is waiting. He can't wait to see what the monolith is going to look like from Elementals. I agree, Rich. I want to see all the characters. I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I'm going to be talking with Fred. Don't worry. We're going to cook up something good for the next one. So let's see here. All right. Well, if we don't have any other bids, and we're going to go ahead and let's see.
And for all the folks that are throwing ideas in the chat for Fred, I'm jotting down some notes, and I will pass those along to him.
Oh, good. So you'll make note of Elvira as an opportunity. Yep. Good. Thank you.
Because I'm not sure if Fred has been following along with that part as much as how the pieces are doing.
Okay. Nope. That's wise. So thank you, Wayne, for your purchases. Have a good afternoon, and we'll email later today. I'm going to call this one for Joe. Joe, thank you very much. $125 bid to get a sketch card.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you all.
Right. So reminder to everybody who bought is I need you to shoot me an email, bill@comicartfans.com, and just let me know which lots you picked up. I don't want to be full screen here. Let's get everybody back in. Email me, bill@comicartfans.com. Give me the lot numbers. I'll invoice you after the show, after the emails, and send me your mailing address with that first email too. It's always a good thing for me to have it. But Fred, this was, Jeff, whenever the three of us are together, I think we both owe Jeff a drink. I don't know what he drinks, but whatever it is, we'll buy it for him.
Nah, we just owe Fred a steak.
Fred a steak. Okay, we do owe Fred a steak too. We've already figured that out. If Fred comes in a day before the show, somebody's taking him out to breakfast, somebody's taking him out to lunch, and someone's taking him out to dinner. And his wife.
We'll work out a schedule.
We will. Well, thank you so much, Jeff. And I have to say, Kazra, thank you for saving our butt with throwing that idea in there, because this worked out really well. And And again, all of you who participated in bidding, whether you won something or not, thank you. Your patronage is always appreciated. And it's a Saturday afternoon. There's other things you can do on a weekend, but we're so glad you were able to hang out with us and make this show really successful. And again, Jeff, your dogs, thank you for lending a hand today.
That's right. We would be tuning in anyway. So
True. There you go. Don't throw that out, Fred. You put that in the mail for the next. Make sure that goes in the mail to in the next pack of art that comes
that's
in,
right.
and we'll do that as a
I'll be on top of
giveaway.
the art in the next package.
Yeah, and we'll do it as a giveaway during the show. I think that would be awesome. How's that? Okay. All right, everybody. Listen,
That'd be good for a random giveaway.
Yeah, I mean it's perfect. So
Yeah.
don't lose that. So all right, everybody. We again have a wonderful weekend. Everybody who claimed, remember, bill@comicartfans.com is the email to use. And again, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.